Let's dive into today's topic with a little thought experiment. Imagine this. You're at a dazzling live performance in the heart of the city. The theater is packed, spotlights blaze down, the air is tense, electric, and you, an accomplished violinist, step onto the stage, violin in hand, ready for your moment. You've practiced for thousands of hours. Every movement of your fingers across the strings is second nature. You're ready. But then, a heavy bass drops. The lights flash neon. A DJ spins behind you. The crowd doesn't sit quietly to hear your concerto. They dance. They wave their phones. They didn't come for Bach. They came for EDM. You're not confused because you're bad. You're confused because you're in the wrong room. And that brings us to a powerful question. If you're truly that talented, why are you on the wrong stage? In life, many people are in that exact situation. They just don't have the stage lights to show it. They're good, skilled, hardworking. But they're playing violin in the middle of a nightclub and wondering why no one's listening. The issue isn't talent, it's placement. It's whether you've chosen the right environment, one that's built to amplify your strengths, not drown them out. José Raúl Capablanca, one of the greatest chess players in history, understood this better than anyone. He didn't wait for opponents to make mistakes. He shaped the game to take it to the endgame where he was strongest. Simple in theory, rare in practice. Ask yourself, how many people train for the final phase of the game while the board is still being set? What made Capablanca a legend wasn't just his endgame skill. It was that he designed the entire match to lead there. While others focused on openings and mid-game tactics, he played with the finish in mind. That's the difference between playing not to lose and playing to win. The mistake many of his followers made was thinking endgame study was just a backup plan. If I get into trouble, I'll know what to do. They memorized hundreds of positions, thousands of variations, but they never learned how to get to the endgame. They didn't shape the match, they let the match shape them. And in real games, those specific positions rarely happened, because no one just drifts into the ending you rehearsed. Opponents are smart, games are unpredictable. All that prep? Wasted. Because they studied techniques, not strategy. They knew the moves, but not the moment. See the connection? Just like that violinist. It's not that they're not brilliant. They just never learned that choosing the right stage is part of the performance. And just like Capablanca, if you want long-term success, you can't wait until the game backs you into a corner to adapt. You have to shape the game from the start. This plays out in business every single day. People assume skill is enough. If I'm creative, someone will give me a chance to create. If I'm great at branding, they'll ask for my input once the company grows. If I'm a killer presenter, I'll get the stage eventually. But the world doesn't work like that. You won't get to shine if the game isn't being played on your field. And if you don't know how to guide the match in that direction, you'll always be stuck in a game that was never meant for you. You're good at branding? Great. But do you know how to make branding matter more than price or convenience? You're talented at creative work? Awesome. But can you make clients believe creativity drives results? If not, you're just another brilliant endgame player who never gets to the endgame. Look at Steve Jobs. He didn't wait for the world to ask for the iPhone. He moved the entire market to a place where a sleek, intuitive touchscreen phone was not a luxury, it was a necessity. Elon Musk, he's not just an engineer. He shapes conversations. He steers the financial world. He frames expectations. When people still saw electric cars as a gimmick, he redefined the narrative and got people talking about the future. Howard Schultz didn't invent coffee. He invented a third space, not home, not work, where people could relax, connect, and sip espresso under warm lights and soft jazz. He wasn't selling coffee, he was selling a cultural ritual, and in doing so he made brand storytelling a non-negotiable skill in the entire food and beverage industry. These people didn't just master the endgame, they understood that winning comes not from showing up at the right time, but from building the game around their strengths from the very beginning. Steve Jobs didn't just launch a product, he built an ecosystem, App Store, iCloud, hardware integration, so you couldn't leave even if you wanted to. The iPhone didn't win because it was the best phone. It won because Jobs redefined what a phone even meant. Elon Musk didn't just make electric cars, he built a dream about space, energy, humanity's destiny, and made Wall Street, the media, and governments join the conversation. Howard Schultz didn't sell espresso, he sold belonging. He turned a cup of coffee into an identity, and in doing so, made branding a core pillar of every coffee business since. What's the point? It's not enough to be good, not enough to be ready. You need to architect the game. You need to design the stage where your talent wins by default. Because talent without context is a violin solo in a dance club. And no matter how beautiful it is, no one came to listen. All of them, Jobs, Musk, Schultz, Capablanca, they share one thing in common. They didn't sit around waiting for the world to need them. They made the world realize it couldn't do without them. That's the spirit of Capablanca. That's the mindset of someone who leads the game. In today's noisy, fast-moving world, you can't afford to wait your turn to shine. You have to learn how to build the kind of battlefield where your strengths aren't just useful, they're essential. All the skills in the world mean nothing if you can't shape the playing field to spotlight them. You won't survive just by being good at reacting. You have to become the kind of person who sets the tone, who moves first. There's an unspoken rule in every competitive system. The winner isn't always the one with the best skills. It's the one who makes their skills indispensable. That sounds simple, but it's one of the sharpest insights you can carry into any high-stakes arena. In a volatile market, your value isn't determined by how good you are, but by how necessary you make yourself. Look at Apple. They weren't the first to build a smartphone, but they were the first to make the world expect that smartphones should be beautiful, intuitive, and seamless from the inside out. Apple didn't just enter the game. They redesigned the board and invited everyone else to play. And once you're on that board, Apple's greatest skill, experience design, full-stack integration, becomes the name of the game. When you understand this, you realize long-term success doesn't come from random moments of excellence. It comes from intentionality, vision, and the ability to engineer scenarios where your skill becomes the missing piece in someone else's puzzle. And to do that, you can't just focus on the end game. You have to think about it from move one. Be the person who leads the game. Don't just be good at finishing. Design the finish line from the beginning. But don't over-romanticize this idea either. Capablanca was a genius, sure, but even he lost. He was defeated by Alekhine, a player who was more unpredictable, more chaotic. That loss didn't make Capablanca any less great. What it does is remind us of something deeply human. Even the best game planners will sometimes run into opponents who are stronger, or variables they didn't expect. Business is no different. The world isn't some tidy chessboard with static rules. It's messy. It's fast. A new technology can appear overnight. A crisis can wipe out what you've spent years building. That's why leadership alone isn't enough. You need adaptability. You need the sensitivity to know when to pivot, when to abandon what once worked, and when to change the plan entirely. Capablanca taught us something powerful. Don't wait for the right opportunity. Build the board where your chances of winning are highest. But life won't always follow your blueprint. That's why, along with strategic foresight, you also need flexible strength, the kind that allows you to stay grounded, even when the game suddenly shifts. I hope you found this video helpful. If you enjoyed today's video, be sure to hit the like button. It might seem like a small thing, but because of how the YouTube algorithm works, videos with more likes tend to get shown to more people. So your like really helps this video reach others who might need it too. And if you find my content valuable, consider subscribing. It really helps more people discover it. Thanks for watching, and I wish you and your family good health and peace. See you in the next video.